Step back in time, to the ancient world of the Mediterranean, a volatile landscape divided by mighty empires. Imagine a world where the stakes of power were high, and the tides of fortune were as unpredictable as the sea itself. Our journey takes us to the heart of the Punic Wars, a relentless struggle between two formidable powers, Rome and Carthage. This wasn't a mere disagreement, this was a contest for dominion, a battle for supremacy, a fight for survival. The Punic Wars were not just wars, they were the furnace that shaped the destiny of nations. They were the crucible where heroes were forged and legends were born. Amid the chaos and the clamor, the blood and the battle, one figure emerged from Carthage, a man whose name would echo through the ages. In this era of turmoil, one man from Carthage would rise above all. His name was Hannibal Barca. Born in 247 BC, Hannibal Barca was a Carthaginian general during the Second Punic War against Rome. From a young age, Hannibal was steeped in a culture of warfare. His father, Hamilcar Barca, was a prominent military leader who instilled in his son a deep-seated enmity towards Rome. At the tender age of 9, Hannibal swore an oath to his father that he would never be a friend of Rome, a pledge that would shape his destiny. As he grew older, Hannibal's strategic genius and leadership skills became evident. He rose through the ranks, earning the respect and loyalty of his troops. Upon his father's death, Hannibal ascended to the position of commander-in-chief of the Carthaginian army. His rise to power was swift and decisive, and he wasted no time in executing his plan. With a hardened heart and a clear vision, Hannibal began his campaign against Rome. Hannibal, now in command, set his sights on the mighty Roman Empire. Hannibal was not a man to make idle threats. He took action, leading an army across the treacherous Alps to strike Rome where they least expected. A feat as daring as it was dangerous, Hannibal's crossing of the Alps is one of the most audacious military maneuvers in history. It demonstrated his exceptional leadership, as he guided his troops through terrain that was both rugged and hostile. But the Alps were just the beginning. Upon setting foot in Italy, Hannibal demonstrated his military genius in a series of stunning victories, most notably at the Battle of Cannae. There he used a brilliant strategy, turning Rome's strength against itself by encircling and annihilating a much larger Roman force. His tactics were as innovative as they were ruthless, highlighting his determination to bring Rome to its knees. Despite his victories, the tide of war was about to turn. Hannibal's dream of defeating Rome was not to be. After a long and grueling war, Hannibal was defeated at the Battle of Zama. Yet, this was not the end for the great Carthaginian general. He returned to Carthage, not as a conqueror, but as a statesman. His wisdom and leadership helped rebuild the city, but political enemies soon forced him into exile. In his final years, Hannibal wandered the eastern Mediterranean, offering his military expertise to kingdoms in conflict with Rome. Ultimately, he chose death over capture, his indomitable spirit unbowed to the very end. Hannibal's legacy is not defined by his defeat but by the audacity of his journey. He was a master of strategy and tactics, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible in warfare. His crossing of the Alps remains one of history's most daring military maneuvers. Hannibal's life was marked by daring feats and brilliant strategies. He may not have conquered Rome, but his legacy as a warrior and tactician remains unparalleled.